so we don't do this for no reason. Might have you approve it on your end.
Sure.
So yeah, talking online reviews in the HVC residential contractor. We're recording this. Obviously, it's not live. So if we say something we didn't want to say, you don't want to answer a question, we can stop and start again. But if we fumble a little bit, it's no big deal. It sounds good as a conversation. I have a little brief intro I kind of bring in, just kind of welcoming everyone, and then we'll get to, I don't really have questions, just kind of some topics here. And then we'll let you talk a little about Nexstar at the end. And then I'll, thank you for coming, whatever, and then we'll wrap it up. And then if we can wait a couple seconds, that'll give my guys a good place to edit. Then we can kind of just talk about how it went.
Okay, that sounds great. I think you did the interview with James and Brian
Yeah,
that I
yep, the
heard and
coaches.
Stefan. It
Yep.
was really, yes, it was really, that was really cool. It sounded super. I mean, you obviously know what you're doing, so
My job's easy. I set the tee you guys up, but you guys bring the value. But sounds good. Any questions before we start?
no, I think let's rock and roll.
All right, sounds good. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Newsmakers podcast and videocast series. Today, we're talking about online reviews and HVC residential contractors. To help us in that discussion, we're welcoming Alicia Johnston of Nexstar Network. Thanks for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I have some stats here. It said 90% of homeowners see online reviews either as extremely important, very important, or important. It also found that 61% of contractors are featuring online reviews on their website. So even I can do the math that the 39% aren't. But do those numbers surprise you at all, or that's kind of in line of what you're seeing when you're dealing with contractors over there at Nexstar Network?
Yeah, when I first saw that stat, to be honest, I'm not surprised from the consumer standpoint, simply because, you know, online reviews serve as a referral. They're the digital referral of this day and age, and so we know that especially in the home services industry, referrals are key, and they are they're just so invaluable to both the consumer to consumer, but then to the home service company. So again, it was not super surprising. I mean, we know here that I believe, consumers read on average 5 to 7 reviews before they actually pick up the phone to call a contractor. So, again, that stat just kind of verified that. Now on the contractor side with the website, so again, I guess I'm not surprised with it. And it's not because contractors don't care about online reviews that they don't feature them on the website. I think online reviews are featured elsewhere, that they put more focus on specifically. As we talk about Google and the Google business profile, that carries a lot of weight. And contractors and anyone in the digital marketing realm know that is where you want to focus your reviews to funnel into. And we can talk about that more, but
Yeah, no, but I was actually going to ask you, do homeowners not really respect the online reviews on someone's website? Is it almost like feel like you're stacking the deck a little bit versus if you go to Google Business or, any other of those sites?
actually, yeah. I mean, I feel like in this day and age, consumers want authenticity, and they know. Consumers are smarter in this day and age, and they know that those reviews are handpicked, curated to put on the website, as they should be. I mean, that your website is a place where you want to showcase, the best of the best. And so I think that's where, yes, third-party review platforms or sites like Google, provide that third-party unbiased response, and consumers just know that.
Would you recommend, because you can put whatever reviews you want online
Mhm.
or on your personal website.
Yep.
Online's fair game, right? But would you advise people to have some not horribly negative ones, but I've always heard that if everyone gets a 5-star review, then you really don't believe them. So how should people be dealing with their website? So if some people have some semi-negative reviews, should those make it past the goalie?
Yeah, well, good. That's a good question. I would say on your website, yeah, you want to showcase those great reviews, those stories of those customers, and those can be more long form content, in my opinion, in terms of just being longer, more detailed. And the reason why I would say stick with again, those glowing reviews of your company or of your technicians or of your, customer service representatives on your website, because it not only serves as a place for new customers to look at if they want to see more of that, but it also serves as a recruitment piece. Because if you have a prospect who is maybe interested in in your job opening that they see, they're going to do their own discovery, and they're going to go to your socials and see, are you living true to your word, and what do your customers say about you? And so that's where they're gonna see that as well. So, think about it from a recruiting side as well. But, to answer your question on those negative reviews, again, going back to consumer authenticity, that's what they want. And consumers do get suspicious when they see all 5-star reviews on your Google business profile, specifically, or an Angie or something. And so, don't be afraid of those 1-star, 2, 3-star reviews. It's okay. And it shows that, you may miss the mark, but you're human, so we can talk about, how to correct it, kind of correct that, and respond to it. But at the same time, though, I would say it's not all bad.
Sounds good. So obviously the ones off your website, the ones that are most valuable. You kind of mentioned Google Business a little bit earlier. Is that where Contractor did? There's a bunch of them out there that you could be
Yeah.
pointing people towards, but is Google Business where really where you want to point people, or maybe you just want to pick one to make sure you go there? Kind of walk us through that process.
Yeah, great question. I mean, I mentioned Google simply because Google is, they own 90% of the market share in terms of
Yep.
all web searches. So, that's why I keep going back to that. And so it's so incredibly important, because now, Google is, the dominant force, when it comes to online searching. And, so you kind of have to play by their rules. And, one of their rules, in order for contractors to increase their rankings on that search results page, when someone searches, HVAC contractor near me, one of their ranking factors to be on the first page is reviews.
Okay.
And so really, to funnel the reviews into your Google business profile, that holds the most weight. And again, Google doesn't have 90% of the market share for nothing. They've established their credibility. And so that's where a lot of the consumers will go to find a contractor. Now, there are other review sites as well. There's BBB, which is still, highly authoritative, holds a lot of credibility as well in consumers' minds. Angie is also another one where you see a lot of consumer traffic too, and even Facebook. Now, they don't do active reviews anymore, but there's still reviews on there that gets funneled into those search results that Google pulls. So it's really important to, to at least be aware of where the reviews are, because again, you got to meet with the customer where they're at and what site they use.
So then what's the best practices for contractors to make sure they're getting the reviews? Is it the technician in the house is kind of verbal? Is it an email afterwards? Maybe kind of all of the above? Kind of walk us through that.
Yeah, I would say it's a layered approach now. It used to just be, to be honest, 10 years ago, it used to just be, the contractor's got to ask in the homes. And yes, we still at Nexstar, that is still a best practice, that the technician will get into the home, they'll explain what's going on, and they'll ask for that review. But now with technology and where it's gone, you have, amazing vendors like Pulse M, Review Buzz, Service Titan's gotten in there. They've made it more seamless and automated to at least get the reviews, which is great. So you're not just relying on that single technician. So it makes it a little bit easier, not only for the technician, but then also for the customer as well. And so I would definitely recommend not only having the service technician ask for it, but then also, you you can follow up with an email, to an SMS message or a text message, or, also follow up with the thank you call too. That's another way of getting it. But again, having all of those options or choices isn't a bad thing either. So, and most consumers prefer email or a text message. Again, it's just easier. They're able to respond and write that review on their time versus having the technician wait or the customer service representative waiting on the phone.
Right. Is incentivizing it for the homeowner a no-no, getting to, $50 off or a gift card if you do a review, or is that against the rules?
It is against the rules.
Okay. All right.
So, but there's a way, but you can be creative with it. So here's what I say. So yes, incentivizing for reviews, absolute no, do not do it. If Google sniffs that out, or if one of these other review platforms sniffs out that reviews are coming in, not in a great way, it could be really bad for you. So my suggestion, when we have Nexstar members who are having trouble getting those reviews, my suggestion is, hey, you could run a contest. Any review you get in this month or during this time frame, you could be eligible to be put in for a drawing. So you got to make it random.
Gotcha.
That would be my suggestion if you're looking to ramp up your reviews
Okay.
in a certain time frame. But remember, has to be completely random, and again, you can incentivize, but random. And again, maybe that's a drawing of some sort.
Okay. And then I'm assuming maybe you want to incentivize the tech to do it. Maybe getting,
Yep.
if you get a review, then you get, what same kind of thing, gift card or time off or whatever.
Absolutely. And I know that a lot of Nexstar members do that as part of their staff meetings. They're all staff meetings. They will put the text name into a drawing for every 5-star review they get, and then during that staff meeting they'll pick, and yep, it'll be some sort of prize that's meaningful to them.
How about if a tech's in the house and they can read it, right? Maybe the customer's not completely happy, and for whatever reason, expectations weren't met. Do you still push the review, or do you kind of take the foot off the gas, saying, "Man, I don't know if I want that person to express their views"?
Here at Nexstar, we say ask for the review always. And I know it may be uncomfortable. I do understand that, and there's the discernment in there, but always ask for the review, because you want to keep that momentum going, especially with that technician, because once they get into the habit of asking for the review, it should become part of their process, that it's automatic, so always do that. And if there's something wrong, or the tech knows that there's something wrong, at least they'll be prepared to respond to that review, and so again, best practice, always ask for that review regardless. And again, but we will know that, it's coming, and you'll be able to handle it.
Okay. And you talked about a little bit earlier, and we're talking about it now, the bad reviews. Well, I guess first, should you respond to every review on Google, even if it's good? And when it's bad, how do you respond?
Yes, respond to every review. Oh, I will say it again because it is so incredibly important. Respond to every review, and I'll even give everyone a tip. Do it within 48 hours.
Okay.
48 hours, respond. It is so incredibly important. If your customer is going to take time to leave you a review, reciprocate and respond to it, even if it's a thank you so much, Mr. Customer, we appreciate your business, can't wait to serve you again in the future. Now, for the negative reviews, again, respond. Use empathy and sympathy first.
Yep.
So sorry to hear that, I'm sorry we missed the mark. Respond with that first, and then depending if you know what's going on or not, whoever is responding to that review, try to take that conversation offline, respond with that sympathy first. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'd love to get more detail on what happened. If you could give me a call at this number, or let me know what the best number is to call you, or I'll try to call you because you have that record. If you can find that person, that is what you should be doing for your negative reviews.
So I'm assuming the best practice, maybe the Nexstar is promoting, is it just one point person at every company that is in charge of responding to reviews? Because I assume they have to chase down the situation a little bit too on what happened, because they're not in the home every time a technician is.
Yes, absolutely. And, it really depends on the business and the size of the business and structure. But yes, we do recommend having one point person, and that point person being given the autonomy to respond as needed, but then also have an escalation process. If it's not the owner or the GM responding to those, if it's the marketing manager, make sure that person has an escalation process to help identify and solve the issues that have come up as quickly as they can.
Because I assume you want to respond and then take it offline, right? So everyone doesn't see the dirty
Yes.
laundry for for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, absolutely. And take it offline too, because again, there's probably more context that, that person doesn't have or the customer doesn't have too. And, also remember, specifically, I'm going to talk to our owners out there because owners I feel are really passionate about this because
Sure.
it's their brand, it's their reputation. So I understand the passion around that. And, just if there is some sort of review or something that is said to, take a breath and come back to it. Take, shut your computer, shut it, come back to it until you don't have as much emotion going into that. And remember that you're not just responding to that single person. You're not responding to that person. Your response is going to be viewed, publicly. And again, by those prospects, if you have recruiting candidates that are looking at you, by other customers, by potential customers. So just remember, you're not just responding to that one person.
And it always feels good to get the last word, right? But I'm assuming if you have a response, then they have a response. You just kind of let it go. You don't want a long thread of he said,
Yeah.
she said, and you just kind of have to bite your tongue a little bit.
Yep, exactly. It does take a lot of restraint and discipline not to do that,
Right.
and the goal is behind the scenes. I mean, hopefully you have the customer information, so you can see very clearly and quickly, who that person is, what happened. You can talk to the tech and get to them as quick as you can on the back end. Absolutely, because you want to avoid that snowball effect.
And I'm assuming you did mention earlier about, people get involved in this with software and that sort of thing. We have, there's an abundance of software out there that'll get you alerted when you get a review. So you don't have to go to every review site and check every day to see what's been posted, just to kind of speed up the process.
Yes, and that's the beauty of these, of these companies and these partners, Nexstar partners too, that, I mean, they do a great job with their technology to alert. Again, they alert either the point person or the manager or the owner immediately, so you can address it as soon as possible.
Okay. All right. Sounds great. Really appreciate the time, Alicia, and kind of talking to us about online reviews. But be negligent if I didn't kind of mention Nexstar Network. If people, I don't think people are unaware, but perhaps they are. Tell us a little bit about what you guys got going on there, and maybe anything kind of coming down the pike for you folks.
Sure. Yeah. So we are a best practices organization, turning the world's best tradespeople into the world's best business people. And, through training and coaching. And as the coaching manager here, we have an amazing bench of coaches, anywhere from business coaches to marketing coaches to digital marketing coaches. And again, we're here to serve those contractors in our network and are happy to do so, every single day. And with that too, I could go on and on about online reviews, being a former digital coach myself. And we do have our marketing coaches and digital marketing coaches that can talk through this and best practices and benchmarks for online reviews and to up your game. So, I mean, for our Nexstar members out there who are listening, please get a hold of your coaches to learn more too.
I can confirm they have a lot of good information. You guys put on a pretty good super meeting too. I know those are in the fall, so you have it's gonna be a
Yes.
while before it comes up again. But you guys, anything kind of business management, which is so important for HVAC contracts, I feel like you guys deliver.
Absolutely. And if anyone, would like more information, please reach out to us at nexstarnetwork.com. And we'd be happy to, again, provide what we can and answer any other questions.
All right. Thanks again for the time today.
Thank you.
All right, you know what you're talking about. You're nice. You're you're a very easy guest. You know your stuff, and some people only give me 2 or 3 word answers. So
Oh,
you're a coach. I can tell you're a coach.
oh, honestly, and I could have gone on and on. So we didn't even talk about I mean, gosh, just responding. We do a workshop, to be honest with you. We have a whole section of our workshop just on online reviews and responding and the tone and brand. I mean, there's so many nuances. So it was really tough not to get other things. So
Right. So I appreciate it. All right. Well,
absolutely.
thanks again. Once this posts up live, we'll certainly send you a link so you can share out wherever. But again, I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, absolutely. It was so nice to chat with you. Please, like, don't be a stranger. Let us know. I mean, obviously, I know you and Kim, connect a lot too, but
Yep.
please let us know. Happy to serve up any coaches you need.
All right. Sounds good. Have a good
Thanks,
holiday.
Kyle.
Yep. Bye bye.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye.